Joining me on the broadcast first is Dean Baxendale. He's a Canadian journalist. He's also an author, and in fact, he is keeping a close eye on this probe panel that is holding a public inquiry in Canada regarding the kind of allegations that have been made. Dean, good evening. Thank you very much for joining us on Mirror Now. First of all, Dean, these allegations are absolutely wild. The probe panel has completely rejected any Indian influence in Canada's politics. Your first thoughts?
Well, I think we must look at governments globally, and both soft power and sharp power diplomacy, wherever they might have engagement with countries like Canada. I think that certainly the Indian government tries and attempts to influence our politicians and to talk about positive relationships, obviously, with India and Canada, i.e. trade, commerce, the development of intellectual property, opportunities for expansion for both economies. And obviously we share, a significant, we have one of the largest diaspora Indian communities in the world. Outside of India in Canada. So it's very important for us to continue to have relationships. I think at times that the Indian government has certainly engaged with individuals and groups inside Canada to potentially influence our political positions. Yes, but I think all governments do that. And that is fair. What we're talking about, though, more so is the malign state interference that we've seen arise in democracies, specifically being sponsored either directly by the Chinese Communist Party, Russia, Iran, North Korea, and other totalitarian states that aim to destabilize democracies and ultimately create havoc within our various states.
Which is what leads me to my next question, Dean. Why make such allegations in the first place when there is no evidence to prove that?
Are we specifically talking about the? So people within the Indian community, there are a number of Canadian politicians there, who certainly have liberal politicians have certainly expressed this sentiment that they feel that the Indian government, as well as the Pakistani government, has tried to interfere in our diasporic communities over the past few decades. So those allegations come often from within the Indian diasporic communities here in the country. And certainly, when we look at others, like the Chinese diaspora community, they have certainly made it very clear to CSIS and the RCMP that the Chinese Communist Party itself has had malign intentions of oppressing and suppressing their voices here in Canada.